Welcome to Ion Hermosa Beach. It's election season here in Hermosa, and because of that, we invited in some local residents to talk about what they see as the main issues. We also then invited in all 5 city council candidates to respond to those concerns and also provide them with a platform to speak directly to the voters. We hope that you learn a lot through this process.
My name is Mike Detoy. I've been a resident here for 15 years. Proud father of 2, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old who are both at Hermosa View. My wife of 8 years, she's a physician assistant, works at Cedars, professional. I am a fire captain for the City of Riverside Fire Department. When my wife was pregnant, I knew I wanted to get more involved locally. I jumped on the EPAC Commission, which is the Emergency Preparedness Advisory Commission, just to get more involved at home and making sure that I'm doing everything I can to make sure the community's safe when I'm away in a different city, making sure that my wife and my daughter at the time have a safe community to live in. After I served in EPAC, I decided to dip my toes in the water and run for city council. Hermosa is a spot that I grew up in Pasadena, so Southern California, but we had a family house in La Jolla, so we'd always go down there for the summer, spring break, things like that. And it's one of those regrets that I wish my family came here, because after I discovered Hermosa, I never want to leave. I love this town deeply, care deeply about it, and it's been my honor to serve for the last 5 years as one of your council members. Did not expect a global pandemic when I got elected, so that was a rough first 6 months, but proud of what we've accomplished, where the city's come, and we still have a lot more work to do. So it's my last 5 years, and even before that, I've always listened to stakeholders, been available for phone calls, been active on social media, and if anyone has a concern, it's a real concern. It could be perception, it could be reality, and getting to the root of that has always been an important aspect of my tenure on City Council. It got a little bit interesting during COVID, but as an elected official in Hermosa Beach, it's a small city, very densely populated, requires high level of service. And with that, we are all still very part-time. We get paid a minimal stipend to serve you all, and we don't do it for the money. But with that, you require professional staff. We have had a city manager that's been with us for 6 years, so at least we have some stability. We have city managers all around us in other cities that are leaving that then have interim city managers in their place. But when I got elected, one of the first few meetings I had was when the council chambers were packed. We had the Save with the Police city council meeting, and our police force was teetering on the edge of failure. We almost weren't able to staff and cease to exist. The only option was either we're going to have to pay them with a new contract, get new leadership involved, or outsource to the sheriff, which was clearly not the sentiment of the community. So one of the most proud things that I can say is, we entered contract negotiations, so we're sitting there against the Police Officers Association, and we get them fair wages. So we just brought them up to median, gave them a little bit more, because we were just a training ground. We would hire a new officer, they would skip to Manhattan Beach, they would skip to Redondo Beach, all the area cities, and I can proudly say now that as we sit here today, we are one of the only fully staffed police departments in Southern California. So we were able to get a new police chief during the pandemic, Paul LeBaron, who is very active in the community, will answer anyone's phone calls, front lawn meetings, has done a great job professionalizing the police force in town. And again, we're fully staffed. They're starting to get specialty assignments again, which is a great recruitment tool, because since we are a small city, we don't have SWAT, we don't have all the bigger department sexy programs. So very proud of getting fully staffed. We've also had a lot of turnover. We have some longtime department heads that have retired. And so with that, there's some new city staff at all levels. So I could see some of that. I mean, we're dealing with the case today of, a permit got denied that has been for an event that has been long-standing, 8 years. What do? You reach out to the council members, because it could be a new staff member that interprets the policy letter of the law versus the Hermosa way. So I think there's a middle ground approach, and that's why we're elected, is to, if there's something wrong with city staff, you approach us. And I've always been that person on city council that is easily accessible. My phone number is public, good or bad. So happy to receive text messages, emails, phone calls, meet with residents for any issue. So I think all of us each bring a unique perspective to serving on city council. For me, not only my profession as a firefighter, but my number one priority is public safety and how do we deal with these macro issues like homelessness, making sure that we are prepared for Olympics in 2028. Because if we do have an event here is one thing. If we don't, one concern is that LA County, LA City, where there are events, there's going to be a disruption of the transient population. So having my expertise of dealing with it day in, day out for my day job, I'm unique. I also, having 2 young kids, I am at Valley Park and Seaview Park and South Park and the beach pretty much every day I'm off. My daughter goes to Valley Sport Camp this last summer. I coach AYSO, I coach Hermosa Beach Little League. So I'm involved in the community. I see the benefit and just the amazingness of this community next to a metropolitan area. We're so unique and so fortunate, and I'd be honored to serve another 4 years, as I alluded to. My first 5-year term, I had a lot of goals, and a global pandemic kind of knocked those out of the way. So I'm eager to really focus back on capital improvement projects, making sure that our streets are first class. We were able to repave over 2 miles of road. We have another 4 miles coming down in the next couple of fiscal years. So over 15% of our roads are getting repaved. But there's a lot more work to do. Our pavement index is down, and so the city administration and city council's focus is to focus on those vital, key capital improvement projects and making sure that our parks are first class. We have great accessibility on our beaches now with the Moby mats. That was a big thing to get them on 2nd, 22nd, and right south of Pier. And when I was taking campaign photos, I started welling up a little bit because I saw a person in a wheelchair getting pushed out to the beach and going out close to the water line, and just making sure that that's accessible for all. Our greatest treasure is just amazing, and another very proud moment of, wait, why are we just doing one? We have bathrooms at 2nd and 22nd. We added ADA parking there, and we can make accessibility for all. And honestly, when we go to the beach, there's strollers parked at the very end, hopefully pushed in the sand. You don't want to block access. But they're great hubs, and with that, supporting our small businesses. There's a lot of red tape that we need to cut through and working through. So we're right in the middle of a zoning update. Hopefully, we can relax some parking restrictions that have been in place since the 80s, and kind of modernize our building codes and our zoning codes, so we can get that influx of private investment, and while still balancing, kind of protecting that Hermosa Beach culture and our unique downtown, our funkiness of punk rock history, beach volleyball, surfing. And I don't want to change this town. I moved here as a 25-year-old kid, had a fun time, met my wife, and now I'm seeing this whole other side of town, which is just so amazing to raise young kids. Our schools are phenomenal, so how we can partner with our schools to keep just growing our community and creating little Hermosians that will carry on our vision to enjoy music and enjoy everything that we bring and we enjoy every day. So
we wanted to thank everybody who participated in our show. We hope that all of you learned a lot at home. We want to make sure that you get out and vote. And thank you for watching Eye on Hermosa.